If you're building an electric guitar, you should be getting used to working with routers. And if you're like me and you like to work with small routers or handheld routers, trimmers, you know that a little wobble when you're working on an edge or with a template can really mess up your work. So I've decided to upgrade my trimmer router and give it a wider base and a second handle for more stability. So join me, we'll do it step by step, and I'm pretty sure by the end of this tutorial you'll see the benefit of this little upgrade and you might just want one for yourself. So join me, let's build some guitars. Hi, I'm Yoav and this is the Electric Luthier. And today we'll be taking this little trimmer router and upgrading it to give it a better base and a second handle to make it even more comfortable and versatile than it already is. If you've ever had your router wobble on you and maybe dip a little outside when you're working on an edge, you know the damage this can do to your work. If you're copying a template and that happens, it can really render your work useless and you may have to start from scratch and you may ruin a good piece of wood. This can often be avoided if you're working on a table router, but if you like the comfort and ease of a handheld trimmer, then you're in the right place. So that's what we're going to be covering today, and if you like what you hear so far, please hit the subscribe button and the bell one to get notifications when we come up with a new video. And check out our website where we have tons more information for the aspiring luthier. Since the trimmer itself acts like a handle, all you need is a second handle at a comfortable distance to avoid the wobbliness and be able to apply a bit more pressure so you don't have that outward tilt. A second handle, or a third in this case, like you have in some plunge routers, is not really necessary for what we're doing here. I still wanted to maintain the original functionality of the base, so I just bought a second one so I can modify it. Since it easily comes off, I can switch back and forth. Since the base is made of 2 layers with 4 screws holding it, I can just take it apart and attach the new and improved base to the original one with the original screws. The handle was salvaged from an old tool and it will be attached to the base at the far end with the new screw that I found and matches the threading. The new base will be made from 2 layers of 3mm laminated plywood, which should provide enough strength without being heavy and will also glide gracefully due to the laminate. I thought about going for a nice rounded shape, but I'll stay with the original squarish one, which will also provide more stability at the handle side. After cutting the 2 layers, I'll start by marking the holes. We'll have a large hole for the bits with an extra hole towards the far end to fit the handle. I'll align them up and see that the bits and screws fit. And now it's time for gluing the 2 layers. I'll give it a few hours to dry. Before I drilled the hole, I made a few diagonals so it'd be dead center, and I did a good job putting it in the center. The only thing, it's not centered. So we gotta correct this. So I'll be using a slightly larger cup, but it's also shorter. So I'll have the drill itself being longer and enabling me to have a center from the piece under it. Perfect. And then it's time to sand the edges and assemble everything. There it is, the new and improved trimmer router. Got a sturdy grip. Can't wait to use it. If you like learning about tools and testing more tools all the time, but you don't have the budget to buy all the tools that you want at one time, take my strategy. Start from the cheap ones. This is a $35 trimmer, and I'm pretty happy with it right now. If it breaks down, it won't break my heart, and it won't break my pocket. I'll just get another one, maybe a better one, maybe the same. It might even last me years, who knows? If you like what I did here, you can also find a fancy equivalent for under $30. And you can find it in the description below as well. Now I suddenly have an urge to route something. The small trimmers usually don't have the speed and the force of the large routers. So it's better to work cautiously and slowly. Do multiple passes of small increments instead of trying to bite more than you can chew. Try to start in small steps and gauge how much force you're using and if your tool can handle it. Whether you're using a really simple and cheap one, as I do, or if you have a better one, you still don't want to overstrain it. This is of course also a matter of safety. The harder you push it, the bigger the kickback is going to be. If you're working with templates, try to make your original cut as close as possible to the line so there's not too much to take off with the router, especially if you're working with hardwoods. And don't try and route the full thickness of the body. Do it at small increments. So that's it for today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when we have new videos coming out. And also come and check out our website, theelectricluthier.com, where we have tons more information and articles about building electric guitars.